Having the audacity is not waiting for everyone else's approval and doing it anyway. Today I want to talk about how to have the audacity, because as a girl who grew up insanely shy, never standing up for herself, never taking chances on herself, staying really quiet, staying really small for several years, and then later living her life in a different way where she has the audacity and she plays big and she speaks up and doesn't wait for the approval of others in order to go forward with things. I can tell you it changes your life in a lot of ways when you have the audacity. Before I get started, I will say that I have two channels now. One channel is for my vlogs, and I actually recently sold my car and moved to Paris. So if you're interested in checking out that journey, the link to my vlog channel is in my description box below. And then I have this main channel. I'm currently in my Paris apartment. It's super cute, super tiny. We love her. So anyway, let's get into the conversation. Let's start with a question. If you do not go out and grab it for yourself, who else will? Because even faith needs work in order for it to actually function. A very well-known quote is, "Faith without work is dead." And the other day I read another quote that said, "Faith without nerve is dead." So even though you may feel nervous about doing something, having the audacity to do something, faith mixed with nerves just amplifies the action that much more. When you have nerves, it's because you care about something. The fact that you are nervous or excited just means that you care. So remember that faith without nerve, or faith without work, is dead. You need the nerves, you need the work in order for this action to go through in a way that benefits you. So when you have the audacity to do something, it is okay to be nervous. I was extremely nervous to move to Paris, sell my car, quit my full-time job, and come out here and really zone in on my personal projects and take a chance on myself. But if I didn't do that for myself, who else was gonna do it? Who else was gonna go out there and grab that for me? Only me. So that is the point of having the audacity. Having the audacity means taking a chance on yourself. And even with the support of your higher power, you need to put in the action for that faith to be backed up on. Putting yourself out there is just amplifying your faith and your relationship with your higher power and yourself. It took a lot of work for me to have the audacity that I have today. And honestly, it started off by small baby steps. I used to be the type of girl who was literally terrified to raise her hand in class, who didn't speak up, who didn't really input into conversations. I was really just more the quiet one unless I was super close with you. And I think a lot of that was because I didn't want to take the chance on myself. I wanted the approval of others before doing an action. But having the audacity is not waiting for the approval of others and doing it anyway. And I do that a lot now. Another example, utilizing me moving to Paris. There were people in my life who didn't necessarily agree with it, or who were like questioning it and being like, why would you do that? And stuff like that. But I didn't wait for their approval to go ahead and have the audacity to do it. Like, there were family members who were like, you've only been working full time at this job for 9 months after you've graduated college. Like, you need to stay a year, you need to do this. It's like, there's always going to be a societal way to do things. And sometimes you have to have the audacity to not do it the societal way, to not stay at a job for 1 year because you feel like that means that it was worth something. I still have my connections, I still have my experience. And just because it was not 1 full year, it does not mean anything. I had the audacity to resign. I had the audacity to sell my car, and I had the audacity to move across, not even across the country, out of the country. And a lot of those things were not approved by every single person in my life, and that's okay. Still have the audacity to do it anyway. And it's okay that you're nervous even when doing it. And of course, when I talk in this context, I mean not hurting yourself or anyone else when I do speak about having the audacity, because we can have the audacity to do many things. But of course, we want to do it in a context where it's not hurting ourselves or anyone else. But moving forward, a lot of what brought me to the point I'm at today is by taking small steps of having the audacity. So maybe feeling super nervous in a class, usually I would not raise my hand, but I would do it anyways. It's like that small action of, I'm going to have the audacity to ask this question or give this input, even though not everyone's going to agree, or even though I may be judged. That is okay. Have the audacity to do it anyway. I'm going to have the audacity to stick up for this person, even though everyone else in the circle may think I'm being dramatic or I'm doing too much. Have the audacity to do it anyway. It's the little things that build up into the bigger things over time. So whenever you feel called in those small moments to maybe do something outside of the box of what you would usually do, knowing that maybe not everyone's going to approve of it, that is your moment to build your audacity. And I want you to keep going with it. Let's just say your dream has always been to be a painter. okay? A painter. This is a random example, but it can literally go into anything. So your family doesn't approve. They want you to be a doctor, but you have the audacity to still thrive in your passion for art, and you make art and you post art and you create a website for it and you keep going. You have the audacity to believe in yourself that much that you're not going to listen to other people that may not approve of it, because you know who you are, you know your calling, and you have faith. Another thing when it comes to building up the audacity is for asking for more than what you're given. Because I feel like sometimes we settle for what's there just because it's easy, or it's societal standards, like this is what it is. If you want more, you know, you have to be this type of person, or you need to be doing this, or you need to have that, or whatever. And it's like, no. So have the audacity to ask for more, even if what you are asking for is considered to be challenging or out of the norm or rare or for only certain types of people. Step outside of the box, and do not just settle for what's easy because it's right there and you won't have to go through the journey and learn new things about yourself and maybe go through some challenges. It's okay that you go through challenges because it's preparing you for that more. With more comes more. So take a chance on yourself. If you don't take a chance on yourself, who will? When you start doing little things like this every day, over time it builds. It builds and it builds and it builds, and it gets better and better and better. And it may not feel like it's getting better, but then eventually you look back and you notice that it has. Like when I look back at me 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, even a year ago, to be honest, the growth is insane. And it all was from having the audacity to put myself out there, or having the audacity to speak up, or having the audacity to put my foot down, or having the audacity to not settle, no matter what anyone else said, no matter of the approval of whoever was in my life. And it's okay to not agree with everyone in your life. It doesn't mean you have to cut them out all the time. There's still people in my life who we may not agree on every single thing I do in my life, but I love them to death. It's okay that we're all different human beings and we all have different, visions for ourselves. And as long as that person is not putting your vision down and making you feel terrible about it, it's okay that you differ on certain things. It doesn't mean you have to cut them out of your life. You just have different opinions on things. Big whoop. There's people in my life where we're just completely different, and that's okay because we can learn from one another. That's just what it is. You do not need to have everyone saying, yes, like that is it. That is like, you don't need that, right? Because you are going to find your community by going closer to what you feel that way about. And not everyone who's currently in your life may agree with that, but then you are going to begin to attract more people into your life who do agree with that and who you can celebrate with. So ask yourself this: if you did not need to wait for everyone's approval, what would you have the audacity to do for yourself and your life? What would you do? What would you do if you didn't need to wait on anyone else's approval and it was just you and your higher power, you and God? What are you betting on yourself? Bet on yourself. You can do this, right? And start off small if you don't want to go with the big bam. I totally get it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. Remember that you are completely capable of becoming the authentic, best version of yourself, and that everything is always working out for you, no matter what it seems like at any given point in time. I will see you guys in the next video. Also, remember to check out my vlog. I sold my car and moved to Paris, and yeah, join the channel. Bye.